All right. Well, welcome to the Anythingers podcast. This is our first podcast. My name is KayseaQueue.
And my name is Glassbass, at your service.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about today.
Glassbass has an awesome idea. The Glassbass wants to talk about this specific movie called Pootie Tang. The question is, why was the movie called Pootie Tang? And the question is, was it belt really that magical?
So, yeah, we're going to talk about random movies, random dumb movies that people don't really understand. And one of them today is going to be Pootie Tang. A lot of people have seen Pootie Tang and just been fucking dumbfounded. I know I have.
Did Tang really only use a belt for powers to fight against evil, or was it just that? No, honestly, I'm being serious here. Like, was the belt actually that powerful, or was does he have any other powers besides the gambit?
No, because like if you really look at the movie, like I've seen this movie a long time ago. I remember when it came out. I remember me and my family sitting in front of our giant TV and watching this dumb fucking movie when it first came out on fucking VHS. Me and my cousin had to be probably like 7 years old, and we're sitting there watching this movie. And we're totally just stupefied by the language and everything that's going on. So what, like you said, like, is the belt really like that powerful? Like, no, I don't think it's that powerful. Like when I was watching the movie, and I watched the movie in whole and in depth. And it was one part in the movie where his dad died, and he was literally on his deathbed, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this belt at Piggly Wiggly for like a certain amount of money." So it's just a normal belt. It is just a normal goddamn belt. Like, and I think whatever power Pootie has is the power of persuasion.
Apparently, it wasn't the belt. It was the goodness that was inside of him all along.
Exactly. I think it's the power that he had within himself, and like his persuasion, and going around whipping people. I think it was just like, it wasn't actual power. It's just him like beating people and then like whatever. I think I don't know. I don't know if it's actual, like he has an actual superpower. It's a belt. He's using an object to beat people that he thinks is bad, but like it's not an actual power.
This movie is actually, I thought this movie was like 1990s, but like I look it up and it's actually
like it actually came out in probably like the early 2000s. Because I remember when it came out. I was a little kid when it came out, and I saw this movie just thinking like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Oh,
this
please,
is absolutely.
I've seen far worse. Pootie Tang. They may give it like 5 stars out of 10 on IMDb, but who cares? It's meant to be a dumb, fun movie, and that's like the whole point. We're just laughing at it because it's like, it's a guy with a belt. He's kind of like a superhero, except he's not. Except it's a belt. Like, what the hell are you going to do with a belt? But like, the movie itself is meant to be fun gum, and that achieved that purpose. Fun gum.
I think one of my favorite characters in that movie was the woman who like used to dance on the corner, and like people used to drive up to her and be like, "Oh, you think I'm a hoe or something?" And she just used to like, her name is Biggie Shorty, and she used to just like dance in the corner, whatever, to her little Walkman or whatever, and like people would just drive by her and be like, think she's a hoe or something. And she's like, "No, I just like to dance in the corner." Like, and she was like one of my favorite characters. Yeah, absolutely.
My God, belt whipping is definitely a trick. Okay, now that was just one stupid movie, but reminds me of have you ever actually walked into a movie theater, you sit down, you pay good money, and then you realize that the movie itself is so bad, like that it's not even like bad good. It's like literally just that, so bad that you.
Oh no, I've walked in a movie and I've been scared. I've always been scared to go to a movie that I think is okay, and then sit there. You spend probably like $12 on a movie ticket, And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, well, I paid money for this movie. I'm going to be wowed. I better be wowed. I paid like $12 for a fucking ticket and like $20 on popcorn or whatever the fuck. You're sitting there and the movie is fucking terrible. And I'm always afraid. I'm always just deathly afraid to get up and leave because I feel like I just wasted my money. Even if it is fucking terrible, I will sit there and I will fucking watch this movie. I will watch the whole thing from from beginning to end and not walk out. And I've been to movies where people have went to there and they have walked the fuck out and they did not come back. They did not come back.
God help your soul. But yeah.
I remember it was.
But in my case,
I remember it was. It was my freshman year of college, and my roommates, we didn't get along, and I didn't like any of those bitches. Like they were terrible. And for the first time, we went to go see a movie together, but they wanted to go see something completely different from what I wanted to actually see. And they were like, okay, well, you're going to go see that movie by yourself. And I was like, okay, cool, because nobody wanted to see this movie with me. So I went to go see Machete. And Machete is kind of like a side story in like the Grindhouse series thing. If you've heard of Grindhouse, Robert Rodriguez, fucking Quentin Tarantino, they made like fucking Planet Terror and all that shit. So like Machete was kind of like a side story that they did. It was like a trailer, and then they actually made a movie about it. I went to go see this movie. It was fucking terrible. Every fucking part of that movie was just fucking terrible. I don't remember what happened in the movie. It was just not memorable. And I remember myself seeing people walk right out of the goddamn theater and they did not come back. They had a full bag of popcorn, and within maybe 20 minutes these fuckers walked right out. And I stayed till the beginning to end, and there was probably maybe 5 people in the theater. I swear. There was only probably 5 people in this theater. Barely anybody went to go see this movie. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember it was just absolutely terrible. Like, the acting, it was corny. Wow. It was just weird.
Wow. I mean, there were only 2 movies I walked out of the theater, to be fair. One of them was Just Dance. Wasn't a movie about dancing now called Just Dance? What was it? Just Dance?
No, I don't think there was a movie called Just Dance.
It was a game, yeah, it was a game, but I think that's why it was so terrible. It was so terrible that I can't remember the actual name of a movie that I went to see. It was a dancing movie. All I know is, I went into a movie theater, I sat in there for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, this is boring as shit. And then I walked out.
The movie was based on the game Just Dance.
No, I don't even think it was about Just Dance. I don't think there's a Just Dance movie. It was just.
I think I know what movie you're talking about, and I do agree to some extent that later movies got really. I don't know which movie you're talking about. I don't think it's Just Dance though. I don't think they made a movie about the game Just Dance. I don't know where that would go.
No, I do remember these stupid trailers where they make it so stupid and dramatic, and it's about dancing. It's like. They have these trailers, and it's like, it's gonna get for her life, it's gonna get for his life, oh my god, OMG, and it's like, okay.
I think I know what dance movie you're talking about, yeah. And I grew up on those movies, and I can tell you right now, those are the best movies I've ever seen in my life. They're not good in any kind of shape or way, but the dancing was good, and I liked it because they dance, and I like to dance. And that was the only reason why I liked it, and because it was very relatable to a teenager or a preteen or whatever. So I like those. I like maybe the first 2 movies, and they made another one when I was in high school, and I thought it was atrocious. So, yeah, I don't know if it's Just Dance. I forgot what movie you're talking about, what the name of it was, but I think I know what movie you're talking about.
Now, the second movie I will mention is very much more memorable for the sheer film. Okay, so you ever heard of the movie John Carter? John Carter.
No.
Well, it will surprise you that as I look up John Carter, I look it up on Wikipedia or IMDb as we speak. Came out in 2012, and Disney spent like $750 million. Actually, wait a minute, no. It had a production cost of $350 million, and the box office was only like 284. So they lost like.
So I'm looking at it right now on my phone right now, and I'm trying to figure out what it's about. Like Civil War veteran.
Like they adapted it from an actual like science fiction. It was a book of some sort. It was based on a novel called A Princess of Mars, and that's kind of a problem. They didn't tell you like, yeah, this book. It was probably a good book, but like they didn't translate this shit. They didn't tell you why you should care. They didn't even do that in the movie. Like they didn't even do it good at all. So I was watching the movie in the movie theater, and I see this guy named John Carter. Actually, you know what the issue is?
Yeah.
Why is he John Carter? Why should I give a shit about John Carter? Why is the movie called John Carter? I don't know. Mars? They like. And then I go to the movie theater and I watch the movie, and they don't really give you. They don't even give you a reason to give a shit about him, and then you see him like jumping around Mars, like he had. I can't even remember what happened. All I know is he's riding these giant alien elephant or some shit, and all I know is what killed this movie for me was how boring it was. How ineffably fucking boring this movie was. Like,
you walked out. You walked out.
It was like 30 minutes or an hour into the movie, and I realized I'm completely fucking bored. Like, what the? You had all this money, Disney. You had like $350 million fucking dollars, and
it just proves that everything that Disney makes isn't good.
No. Disney can make some good shit, but
like it's not everything that they make is a good thing. Like, and this is an example. It's a terrible movie. I don't remember anybody talking about this movie either. Like, I don't remember anybody like, oh shit, did you see John Walker, whatever the fuck? Like, I don't remember any friends coming up to me telling me, oh man, this is the best movie I've ever seen of the year.
The fact that you said John, whatever the fuck, proved my point.
It's unmemorable.
It's not memorable. The fact that I had to look it up, I know it was called John Carter. That's the main problem with this movie. It was fucking boring. They didn't give me any reason to watch it. It just wasn't engaging at fucking all. And it was a shame because if they gave it a different development, if they gave it like a different director or something, yeah, it had potential. But they completely fucking blew it. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing with $350 million fucking dollars and you make a movie that's this shit? Like, for fuck's sake, look at Star Wars. I mean, look at anything else made with that much budget. They can do it. They can. Like,
yeah.
The John Carter was just, it could have been something, but they fucked it up. And that's why I watched out. It was like, honestly, you and me should watch John Carter just to see what I'm talking about, honestly, because I don't
think I would want to really waste my breath on John Carter, because, like, I really, really like movies, and I like to watch them because there's something about them that is nostalgic. And you know, when movies were first coming out, people were scared of them. People ran out of the fucking theater because they were like, oh my god, you know, these characters are on the screen and they're, holy fuck, they're gonna kill us or something. It was a new kind of media. It was a new kind of like thing. It was a new kind of era in cinematic, you know, films and all that shit. And now it's become to a point where movies are coming out every day. And you know, it's sad when you go to a movie and you think it's going to be good, and then it's completely bullshit, and you wasted like $20 on the ticket and concessions, and it's just bullshit.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a reason I don't go out to movie theaters that much anymore. I mean, like, How many movies do they come out with these days? I can't really...
A lot.
I know, but...
And it's almost Halloween, so you know that horror movies are going to be coming out left and right. It's horror season, and so you get the horror, you get the thriller, and then you get holiday movies and all that shit. So there's a particular time during the year where movies come out. You get like the superhero movies in the fall and the spring and all that shit, and then you get horror movies.
Yeah, you get the horror
and then
movies
shit
coming out at that point. Halloween would be a perfect time to do that.
Yeah. But like I really want to go over to this one movie that I saw a couple of years ago with a friend of mine, and it was called The Green Inferno, and I had followed this movie for a while because it was by one of my favorite directors, or not my favorite, but like one of the directors that like I've pretty much seen since I was a kid, and his name is Eli Roth, and he's just known for having really like gratuitous, like very gruesome kind of movies, and it's very like bloody and shit. So me and my friend, we go to go see The Green Inferno, and I tell my friend that this movie is a comedy or some shit, and I also tell her that this movie is also a horror, and she was like, yeah, I'm down to see it. None of my friends really like horror movies, so I was just like, okay, we're gonna go see this movie. We go in the movie, we have popcorn, we're eating it, we're sitting down watching this movie. It's the corniest shit that I've ever seen in my life. It's so corny. It's so just eccentrically bad. The acting is terrible. So we're sitting there, we're laughing or whatever. It gets to the point where then you have this girl, and she's spoiled as fuck, and she thinks she wants to change the world. I put emphasis on she thinks, because she thinks she wants to change the world. She thinks she wants to be like some kind of like eco-friendly woman and an activist and all that shit. And she joins this club who is all about like saving the earth and all this shit. And they go on this activist trip to, I think it was like Cuba or some country in Southern America or South America, and they go there to like save the trees or something, and they're recording it the whole time. And these people that are in this country are like, hey, well, why the fuck are you tying yourself to trees? Get the fuck out of here. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna blah blah. Turns out that the guy who's in charge of this activist group, oh, also, this is a spoiler if you've never seen this movie and you don't care. Awesome. But like, but like, I'm pretty sure nobody cares because it's an awful movie, and it's also a movie that you really need to see. It's great. But anyway, so it turns out like the leader of this activist group, of this fakey activist group, he just wants people to follow him. He just wants the world to see him. He just wants that following or whatever. And people realize this, and then they get kidnapped by this native tribe or something, and you know, they get kidnapped or whatever, and then like they end up dying like one by one. And it was just one scene in this movie, and good God, it was gruesome. It was the most fucked up shit I've ever seen in my life. It was just one point. It was so fucked up and bad. Like this fat guy, his name was Jonah. Rest in peace, Jonah. His name was Jonah.
Wait.
Jonah. Like Jonah.
Again, Dunkin' Donuts?
No, Jonah, not donut.
Okay.
Jonah.
I don't think I'm hearing that right. I'm pretty sure his name is Donuts at this point. Yum.
Jonah. Jonah.
Oh, Jonah. Like Y-O-N-A-H?
Jonah.
Oh, yeah, Jonah. Why? I'm eating it, so yeah, go ahead. Continue.
But yeah, so his name is Jonah, and he's a really big guy. Well, not big, but he's husky or whatever. So this tribe, I think they're hungry, and they're like this cannibalistic, ancient, native tribe or whatever, and they're cannibals. So they get the fattest guy, and they fucking gut him like a fish. They gut this fucker. They tear off his skin. They bite off his arms. They fucking It's the most gruesome shit I've ever seen. So after they do this, they fucking roast him. They fucking roast him like a pig. And he's just sitting there. His corpse is just sitting here. This shell of a man is just sitting there on their little stone slab or something. And they're eating this dude, man. They're eating this guy like fucking Thanksgiving dinner. They are fucking chowing down, and like all their friends are freaking out. And there's this other scene which the dude, like, they already know that this dude is fake. And he's in the cage. They put these people in a cage because they don't want them to escape. And this dude is jacking off in the cage. This guy is jacking off in the cage. He's in captivity and he's jacking off.
How do you jack off in a cage? Oh, you can. You just need imagination. Yeah.
You can jack off in a cage. I don't care. But like the thing is, they weren't in a situation where they should be jacking off in a cage. I mean, they were surrounded by these cannibalistic native people, and at any moment these people could just like take them out of the cage and eat them for dinner at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he's sitting there in this cage, kidnapped. They're scared as fuck. I would be. And he's jacking off. Like I didn't understand. The whole premise of the story of this movie was just about like how they went to this, this new land and this new country or whatever, and it's also very rural and unknown, and nobody knows that this tribe exists for a reason.
Is this movie real? Wait, hold up. I had a brain thought. Is this movie real, like based in real life, or is it fake, or is it both?
No, obviously it's not real. There might be a tribe out there. I think there are tribes in the world that do have cannibalism like as a tradition or whatever. They eat, people or whatever.
It's more like ritualized, acceptable to their tribal society.
Yeah, well, that's their society. That's what they are, and anything outside of that is foreign. And if you do, it could be harmful because you don't know what kind of weapons they have, and that's just what they do. That's their tribe. That's their tradition.
You can literally eat their germs or their viruses because if you eat them, yeah.
I don't think they're really thinking that far into what they're eating. I think it's just substance for them or whatever. But this movie is not like based on anything real. Like the original movie that it was based on kind of was this movie that came out back in the 60s or the 70s. It was called Cannibal Holocaust, and it supposedly had like real depictions of cannibalism and like rape and all that shit. And the people that were filming this, like the people that were watching this, thought that there was actual people getting eaten, and the people like there was a lot of shit surrounding that. There was a lot of controversy and shit, back when, movies like that were coming out. Not a lot of people were like for it. They weren't used to it. It was a new thing, but
Good God. Just no. No, speaking of, okay, that's enough of that stupid movie about cannibalistic tribal, what the hell was that? No.
I mean, it would be good if it was good, but it wasn't. It was very bad. It was very corny. The acting was terrible. It was predictable.
Let's not speak of the Emoji Movie then. Let's not speak of it.
You know what? I think we should speak of it. I think we should speak of it for the sake of the people and just tell people what a shitty fucking movie it is. It was not memorable. It was not needed. Nobody needed a movie about fucking emojis. I get it. Kids are living in this fucking technological world and people use emojis every day, but nobody asked for a fucking movie about emojis. Did we go up to fucking, Sony? Who made that movie? Sony? Did we go up to Sony? Did we go to Sony's fucking Twitter and be like, oh, Sony, it'd be so great if we made a movie about emojis? No, nobody asked for it.
I think it was rumored that they may have killed off a potential promising nostalgic, like CGI version of Popeye, like adding.
Yeah, they did. They turned down that thing to make the fucking emoji movie.
That's a shame.
Popeye was shit.
Have you seen the Popeye prototype? Like, the idea of it? Like, they made a prototype. Have you seen it?
I've seen bits and parts of it. I've watched, stuff on YouTube and I've seen videos about it. I've seen a little clip of it.
What I was most impressed by is how well they managed to translate the 2D cartoon antics, the 2D art style of what they did in 1930 Popeye, and they all get in CGI, and it still feels like it's Popeye. That's what it's
Yeah. I think it's great that, with technology now we can bring those movies to life more and bring it to a younger audience and have the younger audience see the great cartoons.
It would have been. I mean, the problem here is that that movie would have been more memorable. But I think some exec at Sony decided, the kids are using smartphones. Let's go to the movie. And the worst part
I think it was a last minute thing because I don't know if they thought it wouldn't sell or some shit, but I also don't think it was something that was done beforehand. I think they just did this last minute and wanted to make the Emoji Movie more, and so they let out this fucking just piece of shit movie. It's garbage.
Yeah, well, it's all about money because as it turns out, this piece of shit movie did not lose money at the box office. It made money at the box office. If I look this up right now, let's see. This piece of crap movie. It was about emoji. It gave me no reason to give a crap. I mean, if you gave it a piss star, then yeah, maybe they would have executed the concept better. If you ask me, but I'm just.
If it had a better outcome, if they had focus, it was just so cut and dry. And it was so much fucking product placement in that movie. Good God. It was like Candy Crush and Spotify and all this other bullshit in there. It was a cash grab.
This movie wasn't a failure for Sony Pictures Animation because they made 4 times the budget for it. It took them $50 million to make the movie, and they made a box office of $217.
Well, they made their money back.
4 times over a shitty movie, so therefore it works.
Well, I think the reason why they did that is because parents have kids, and these kids see this Emoji Movie. It's a cartoon. It looks dumb. It looks very simple. Of course, the parents are going to take their kids to see this movie or whatever. But people like me who see this movie, it's absolute shit. It's just absolute complete shit.
Let me read that. I'm looking right here. Let me read this out. Again, this is what Wikipedia tells me what the idea of the movie was about. Okay, listen to it. The film centers on Jean, a multi-expressional emoji, who lives in a teenager's smartphone and, again, sets out on a journey to become a normal mare emoji like his parents. Speechless. How the fuck is that? Wow.
I mean,
what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? A mare? It blows. No, I mean, even with emojis, you can come up with a better fucking plot or anything than what they came up with.
If they had executed it another way, that was good. It might have been a good movie. It might have been a little bit more tolerable. But watching it, I did not care whatsoever about the teenage boy with the phone. I didn't care if he liked the girl. I didn't care if he had these emojis in his phone that were having trouble. I didn't care. The movie was just they introduced it and then they just kind of just swept it under a rug.
Would you like to know that it won some awards? Actually, it won some awards.
For what?
Raspberry Awards.
Well, that's good that it earned a Razzie, because if you earned a Razzie, that just means, it's not a good thing to earn a Razzie.
It won in 4 categories. It won Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst Screen Combo, and Worst Screenplay, making it the first animated film to receive nominations and win in other words, it reached new levels of shititude. It reached new levels of diarrhea, movie-wise, to the point where it won it won, quote unquote. If you like, it's what's the word? It's ironic. It's a contradiction that you quote win something and you're winning a Razzie. Like, yeah. Oh, by the way, you're muted. Okay, go on.
Right. A Razzie is an award that a movie or a person wins when their work was absolutely shit. So when you win a Razzie, you didn't do good. You're being recognized because you did a bad job. When an actor, when an actress, when a movie wins a Razzie, it's not good. It's not good. But apparently it was good. I don't know. They won awards for the worst movie ever. And I don't know. I think Sony should take example of that and should make better movies in the future, because even though Emoji Movie made a lot of money in the box office, it was still just not a good movie. It was a cash grab, and you can obviously see in the movie why it is.
Wow. So the director for the Emoji Movie, it turned out he getting Lilo and Stitch to... Hold up a second. He getting Lilo and Stitch. Was that the movie about the blue alien and the girl? Right?
Like, which Lilo and Stitch? Like, the old, like, the first one. The second one. Well, I like Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch was probably one of the best Disney movies of my generation. Lilo and Stitch was a shit. The second movie was pretty good.
Okay, the first one came out in movie theater, but the second Lilo and Stitch didn't come out in theater.
Yeah, that came out direct TV, the DVD release, I think. But, like, yeah, the first one, I remember seeing the first one when it premiered, and my family and we went to go, I think it was my aunt, my cousin, and my uncle, we went to go see the Lilo and Stitch movie down at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And seeing it there just made it so much cooler, like, because you see the movie, and then afterwards we get to go to, like, this little, like, create a spot, and we got to make lays and you know, like, see hula dancers and shit. It was so cool, and I really liked that. And yeah. I thought Lilo and Stitch was a cute movie. Lilo and Stitch in no means was a shit movie. It was great.
Wow. So it turned out the director behind all these movies, somehow Emoji Movie stuck in Lilo and Stitch 2 Stitch Out of Glitch that probably sucked. And Edgar was a real movie too. That one got mixed reviews and wasn't that great.
I didn't completely think the second Lilo and Stitch sucked. I just think it wasn't as good as the second one. It was just kind of like it just jumped there. But it made me cry.
Yeah, this guy did not direct a movie that was actually good. Let me see.
No, Lilo and Stitch was good. So wait, did he direct the first one or the second one?
The guy who directed the Emoji Movie directed the second one, not the first one.
Okay. Then, like, the second Lilo and Stitch wasn't bad. Actually, I mean, it just wasn't... Meh.
Wait a minute. What the fuck did he direct? What did he direct for real? Hold up a second. Cartoon Sushi? What the hell is that? What the flying hell is Cartoon Sushi? I don't know what it is, but...
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah. This guy somehow managed to direct movies, and he keeps on doing it, and they suck, and he still keeps on doing it. How? I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. Maybe he just had connection. Maybe he just pulled some lucky bullshit in order to keep directing movies, and your movies turn out to be shit. And apparently, according to the Razzie list, a whole bunch of Mel Gibson got worst supporting actor for... Let me see. 50 Shades Darker. And the obnoxious. Yeah.
I'm not going to even go onto the 50 Shades franchise, because I honestly really like 50 Shades. And I was a teenager who remembers going into a Target and seeing 50 Shades, you know, just being plastered in the fucking book aisle. And, you know, you read it and you get wet immediately. I mean, like, it was sexy as fuck. That was like porn, you know, it was porn in a book. And the woman that wrote it, I think it was a Twilight fan fiction or something. It was based on that, or that was supposed to be that. And she made it, and she made 3 books, and now they're fucking famous.
The concept of the emoji movie, it had a similar concept though. It's similar to something like Inside Out, something to like the Lego Movie, something to like Wreck-It Ralph. The difference is each movie had an abstract object or whatever. Like say Inside Out was emotions inside the head, right? Let's say the Lego Movie was about Lego bricks, right? Lego bricks coming to life, right? You found
Yep.
me. And Wreck-It Ralph was video game characters coming to life. And they all had a plot. It's all kind of the same idea. You take
I know, but like I think it's all like, yeah, it's the same idea, but they all did it in their own way. I did not like Inside Out. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that, but like, I just didn't like it. I thought it was boring. But like, I really liked Wreck-It Ralph. I liked, I forgot the other one that you mentioned. It was Wreck-It Ralph and something else.
Like the Lego Movie.
And the Lego Movie was really cute. It's a cute little kid movie, and I think that, like, me being a grown-ass woman going to a movie theater, seeing a movie for kids, and there's a bunch of kids in there, I think it was something that everybody could enjoy.
You have to admit that the Batman, the Lego Movie was amazing. That was like the most.
I didn't see the Batman Lego Movie. I've been meaning to see it, but I never got to see it. We should watch it.
See it. It was amazing. It was like the grace of God that created such an amazing movie. In fact, we're gonna watch it together one of these days. That's what we're gonna do. I'll get it.
I'm down.
Okay, and that concludes this podcast. And we essentially went on a rant about really crappy movies and why we walk out of it. Therefore, this is Glassbass signing out.
And this is KayseaQueue. We don't know where this is going to go. This is our first podcast, so bye.